By the time she started pounding on the door, 9:03 p.m., voice cracking like cheap glass, I was already sitting in the dark, hands folded, calm, almost peaceful. Funny how the quiet gets louder once you stop pretending. I didn't rush to answer. I didn't need to. Her panic was the sound of a woman who finally realized the ground beneath her had been sawed clean through. It started hours earlier, at noon, when my phone buzzed with her message, "I'm skipping your birthday tonight. Things are tight at the office." A clean lie. Polished. Practiced. I replied, "No problem." But an hour later my son tugged my sleeve while scrolling on his tablet. "Dad, isn't this Mom?" Balloons, champagne, a mountain of gifts wrapped in gold foil. And my wife, grinning beside her boss under a banner that read, "Happy birthday, Richard!" My kid whispered, "They forgot you again?" I swallowed the burn in my throat. "No," I said, "I just remembered something." I stood up, and I quietly began. When I met her 12 years ago, she laughed in ways that filled rooms. She used to squeeze my fingers at stoplights, whispering plans about kids, houses, futures we'd build brick by brick. We had nothing then except loyalty. Or at least I thought we did. Somewhere along the way, she traded that loyalty for applause from men who owned corner offices and freshly waxed company cars. I guess ambition has a way of erasing faces. Mine was simply the first to dissolve. The signs had been stacking like unread mail. Late nights, muted notifications, the sudden sound of her perfume turning sweeter, sharper, and her eyes always somewhere else. I'd catch the reflection of her smile when she texted him, that delicate smile she'd stopped giving me years ago. Still, suspicion wasn't enough. I waited, I watched. I learned her rhythm, her excuses, the timing of her lies. And then, today, the truth spilled out on social media, dressed in gold foil and champagne bubbles. She didn't forget my birthday. She ignored it. That's what broke something inside me, but not in the way she assumed. Instead of snapping, I sharpened. See, most people think revenge is heat, rage, flames, explosions. But real revenge is cold, precise. It's paperwork, it's timing. And I had all the timing I needed. By 1:15 p.m., I'd called the bank. By 2 p.m., I'd spoken to my lawyer. By 3:30 p.m., I'd downloaded every financial record tied to our joint accounts, including the secret transfers she thought I didn't know about. Funny thing, when a spouse starts funneling money into hidden pockets, attorneys get very interested. I didn't threaten. I didn't confront. People reveal more when you stay silent. First, I secured everything tied to our son: school, insurance, medical files. I wasn't going to let her chaos splash onto him. Then I froze the joint credit card she used for her little work events. A simple safety measure, my lawyer called it. Finally, the house, my house, the one bought before the marriage, was legally protected. She'd always assumed it was ours. Assumption is a dangerous thing. At 5:40 p.m., I left her a single envelope on the kitchen counter. A letter. Not dramatic, not emotional, just the facts. I knew. I was done. And I'd already filed. No yelling, no begging, no second chances. I picked up my son, grabbed his favorite blanket, and drove to my brother's house for dinner, my real birthday celebration. We laughed. We ate cake. He forgot the earlier sadness. I didn't. But I felt something freed. When we got home, she was waiting outside, mascara streaked, phone in her hand like a lifeline that had snapped. "Let me in! Open the door!" I stayed seated. My son was asleep in the car. I listened to her panic, her confusion, her fear not of losing me, but of losing the life she built on top of me. She kept shouting, "We need to talk." but our conversations had ended long before she realized. I finally opened the door just enough for her to see me standing in the dark. Her voice dropped to a whisper. "What did you do?" I looked at her the way someone looks at a stranger who claimed to love them. "I stopped giving you the parts of me you didn't value." The envelope trembled in her hand. That was the moment she understood. Not the betrayal, the consequences. She kept begging. I kept quiet. Sometimes silence is the loudest justice. By the time she left, defeated, shaking, I felt lighter than I had in years. My son stirred, half asleep, head on my shoulder. "Dad, you okay?" I pressed my hand to his back. "Yeah," I whispered, "I finally am." And for the first time in a long time, I meant it.